Blessings to you. Welcome, everyone, to Inner Light Ministries, to our weekly virtual offering. And so glad to have you here. Whether this is your first time, I want to say extra special welcome. If you've been with us for decades, welcome on back. I'm Reverend Deborah Johnson, also known of as Rev D. It is my pleasure to spend this time with you. And you're going to hear me say throughout our time together, take a breath. And I literally mean that, like right at that moment, just take a deep breath. Yes, we are so glad to be here in spiritual community. It's a time of remembrance. It's a time of support, time of upliftment, of gaining clarity and insight, filling up the tank again, so to speak. Um, we're not a traditional membership church, but what I know of is that if you're here, you heard the call. You heard it. Whether you're looking at this and what we would call like years later or the moment when it's airing, I just know it's the right time and you'll get whatever it is that you need to get out of it. And maybe this is your third or fourth time back to the same message or more. You're going to get something new. And once again, it'll be whatever it is that's right on time for you. Yeah. So the inner light purpose statement is about to come on the screen. Just as an anchor to remind us of this call that we're all heeding. It says inner light is an open, diverse, inclusive community of individuals and organizations dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for activating higher possibilities by applying universal spiritual principles to all circumstances. Our aim is personal and global healing through the omni-faith energy of love and the revealing of our own inner light. Promoting life's sacred interconnectedness, we embody spiritual oneness, appreciate individualized expressions, and honor all paths that lead to spiritual truth, justice, and ecological regeneration. Hmm. Let's breathe that in. As a spiritual community, we're open. It says we're inclusive, we're diverse. And part of that diversity is in our various walks of life, as well as our spiritual journeys. Some of you might have grown up in quote unquote a religious or a church environment. Some of you probably have not. Some may feel deeply connected to something traditional, like you might consider yourself to be Jewish or Buddhist or Catholic, something like that. Others of you may be resonating more with earth traditions, considering yourselves to be pagan. Some believe themselves to be agnostic or atheist, spiritual but not religious, any combination of things. And wherever you are, that is perfectly, perfectly fine. We're not trying to get you to stop being one thing and to convert to something else. Everything that you hear Inner Light do, everything that you participate in, it is additive. It's additive. Okay. You may decide that you prefer this practice to be your main practice. I kind of look at inner light sometimes like a meal. Like for some people, we're the whole meal. For other people, we may be the appetizer, we may be the dessert, we might be the entree or the salad, side salad. Um, but whatever that is, it's all right. It's all right. You should hear within our teachings the vestiges of other things that you know and understand to be true. Okay? Because truth can't be patented. From time to time, I say that if you're following a spiritual path that doesn't sound like anything else, that doesn't sound like anybody, you should run. You should run and run fast because the truth can't be patented. So you're going to hear it everywhere. So people will say to me, "Oh, Deborah, Reverend Deborah, you sound kind of Quaker to me." It's like, yeah, yeah, probably, you know, or gee, it sounds a little Taoist in there. Yeah, probably is. It probably is. So whatever you're practicing, you can take this with you and go deeper with it. It'll enhance and deepen where you are. Let's take a breath. There are tools that we provide. These are living tools, as it mentioned in the purpose statement. One of the tools that we offer every week are affirmative activations. These are 100 words and different phrasings that help us recalibrate, help us remember the truth of who we are. They provide a tuning fork for us, so to speak, so that we can have something to vibrate and to resonate with that can help us to find that divine rhythm within. Yeah. They do that and so much more. If you're able to, I'm going to invite you to say these affirmations with me as they appear on your screen. Seemingly scarce resources contain secrets of abundance. There is always more ways in which the same thing can be utilized. Whatever you love enough reveals its secrets to you. As I move from fear to love, greater possibilities are revealed to me. I stretched beyond my program thinking and grasped the underlying pure potential. I have the courage to envision beyond what I can see. I have the capacity to perceive beyond my experience. Knowing that God is all needs met, I declare that my every need is met now. There is enough. There will be enough. Always, I am enough. Just breathe that in. Breathe it in. Notice if there's something that you're really, really resonating with. And you're just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe it's something like there's always more ways in which the same thing can be utilized. Or I stretch beyond program thinking and grasp the underlying pure potential. Just notice. Perhaps there's something that's kind of challenging you a little bit. You need to grow into it a little bit. Maybe it's something like knowing that God is all needs met. I declare that my every need is met now. Or as I move from fear to love, greater possibilities are revealed to me. Hmm. Perhaps that last line, there is enough, there will be enough. Always I am enough. That's calling you. Just notice. And I invite you, if you're on a computer, to take a screenshot. If you're near a phone or some kind of mobile device, maybe you want to take a photograph. You'll find these on our website. So you can go back and look there. They'll be in our YouTube channel where this entire session will be archived. It's important that you come back because it's through the repetition that this really gets to the place of embodiment. Yes, just breathe it in. To further help us just cultivate that consciousness about enoughness, I'm going to bring in a Inner Light favorite, just a wonderful singer, songwriter. She's been to our center, and I've had the pleasure to work with her on numerous occasions, Karen Drucker. And we're going to be listening to God is My Source. We've sung that at Inner Light many, many, many times, different kinds of rhythms and syncopations with it. I invite you to just kind of go with the groove a little bit. Let it be a somatic experience for you.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Oh, God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I source. God is my power. God gives me everything and every little thing that I need. And I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Oh, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything, everything I need. God gives me everything, every little thing I need. God gives.
Breathe that in. Yes, thank you, Karen. God gives me everything I need. We're talking today about enoughness, okay? And how enoughness is not a number. Okay, we're talking about enoughness. We're talking about sufficiency. There's there's not a number. It would be if we were talking about money or monetary terms, that there's not a number. Okay, some like magic number out there that says like at this number you're rich, okay, or at this number you're wealthy, and that's just like it. It's not like that. This is true about everything. If you're a songwriter, is there a time when you have like written all the songs where there just like aren't any more songs to write? Or you're a poet and there's just like no more words to use? Or you know, you're in relationships and there's just like the tank ran out. There's just like no more love. It's just like no. We live in an abundant universe that is constantly regenerating itself. If you're looking at this in real time, we just had the spring equinox. Okay. We just have come into this new season. We can see it teaming up all over the place, where the springtime is a great metaphor for this metamorphosis that takes place, this rejuvenation that takes place, this restoration, this resurrection that takes place. Okay? This forward motion that's always upward and onward. Okay? The seasons never say at the end of winter, well, I've done it. I don't have to be spring anymore. No. The tree's not going, well, not going to do that anymore. No more leaves. No, it's not doing that. See, enough isn't a number. Okay. So just as there's this natural propensity in the universe to always express more, there's also this place within us that can reach a point of satisfaction that it's not longing for things, okay, where you're comfortable in your own skin, you have nothing to prove, no one to prove it to. It doesn't mean that you aren't striving to create more or to be more or to experience more. You're not desperate about it. You're not chasing after it, thinking that once you obtain this, once you get this, once you can be this, that you've now reached some kind of nirvana. You now can give yourself permission to think of yourself as whole, to think of yourself as happy, to think of yourself as secure or powerful or lovable. Enough isn't a number. It's not an external measurement. Enough is an internal gauge. It's an internal regulation. And you can only get to that place of the enoughness when we heal the sense of separation. You hear me say all the time that the only thing that ever needs to be healed is just a sense of separation. That's all. It's just a sense of it. And that feeling of enoughness is one of the byproducts. It's one of the things that we start to experience when we stop chasing, when we recognize that right where we are, we are already perfect, whole, and complete. Now, I know this feels like it's this paradox, because if you say perfect, whole, and complete, then you would think, okay, then you would just want to stay that way and never do any kind of changing. No, it's not. That's not what I mean. I mean that at every stage, if you plant a seed and it hasn't sprouted up yet, okay, it's still perfect, whole, and complete in the way in which you've planted it and all of the germination processes that are going on subsurface. As it starts to break through the surface, starts to sprout and flower a little bit, it's at another stage. It's not everything it's going to be, but at that stage, it's perfect, whole, and complete. Like a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old is perfect, whole, and complete. They're not going to be 5 or 10 forever, but there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing missing. They're not bad. They're not off purpose. They're not losers because they aren't 30 already. No, you're 10. Be fully 10. Okay. 10 has its benefits. 10 has its perks. It has its lessons. It has its experiences. And this is the place that we all need to get to. It's the equivalent of Cam 10. I may not have all the sage wisdom that I'll have at 85. But this is where I am now. And it's okay. When we get to that point, we stop doing so much contrast and comparison. Listen to what I'm saying. The judgments come either about other people or about our own selves. Those judgments come when we're not feeling the sufficiency. They come when we're not feeling like we are enough. When we don't feel like we are enough, we're always either one, looking to get more, or two, We're looking for ways that we can anesthetize that, ways that we can compartmentalize it, tuck it away, do something with that feeling that stops us from being so uncomfortable. We don't have to do all that. This place of the enoughness, you experience it more when you recognize the truth of who you are. So you've got a personal truth, like your little t, everything about you and your hereditary stuff and your education, your experiences, your relationships, your finances, your body, like all of that. Okay. But then there's something transcendent of that. The real you. Okay, the spiritual you, your spiritual truth, which trumps all the rest of that. It is your true spiritual self is transcendent of all of that. Listen to what I'm saying. One is a subset of the other. Your personal truth is a subset of your spiritual truth. It's contained within it, but you can never take the infinite and squeeze it within the finite. Your spiritual truth is infinite. Okay. It cannot be contained within your personal truth. It can express as your personal truth, but it can't be limited by, it can't be defined by your little personal truth. Because who you are is bigger than all of that. It's just bigger than all of it. Let's breathe that in. This enoughness, I say it's not a number. It's a perceptual understanding. It's not based on relativity. It's not based on enough vis-a-vis this person and where they are and that person. It it kind of reminds me of a conversation. This was like decades ago. Where it was former conversation between a former partner and her mother. And we're having this thing and we're talking about like changing life habits and patterns and whatnot. And the doctors had told the mom she needs to drink more water. So in her own defense, she tells us, well, I drink more water than the other people on my job. And it's like, yeah, okay, that may be, but how much water they drink, it's got nothing to do with your body. It's got nothing to do with your body. Okay, just because you drink more than other people doesn't necessarily mean you've reached the amount that your body wants, okay, or that your body needs. And we do that kind of thing all the time. This cross comparison thing, even if it's just ourselves. Well, I pray more than I used to. Okay, but have you prayed enough that you feel the connection and you are at peace? Well, I did some forgiveness and therapy 7 years ago. Okay, that might have gone really well. But is your heart constricted now? What's going on now? Take a breath. Take another breath. This enoughness is tied to your internal rhythm, your sense of connection with the divine. This enoughness is energetic. It's energetic. And because it's energetic, no one can do it for you. Because it's energetic, it can't be just gifted to you, nor can it be taken away. It's just yours to define. Take a breath. An organization I've spent a lot of time with, it's called Pachamama Alliance. I spent 12, 13 years on their board of directors from like 2012 to 2024, 25, something like that. The organization does a lot of work on protecting the rainforest and now also the sacred headwaters in the Amazon regions of primarily Ecuador, but also Peru, and wideningly now throughout the Americas with the alliances with the indigenous tribes. So it's been really fascinating. One of the tribes we work the most with is called the Achuar tribe. And I first came familiar with them through the work of Lynn Twist, one of the founders of Pachamama Alliance, in her book, The Soul of Money. Soul of Money. And she was talking about how they were first meeting the Achuar back in the 1990s, and that these tribes were so deep off into the rainforest, nobody could reach them. They had never been colonized. So they're still doing their traditions and all of the rest of that they have been doing for thousands of years. What's very unique about the Achuar and the Sapara and these other tribes around there that I've had a chance to go into the rainforest and spend time with them, as they've invited us into their homes and things, that they've made conscious decision to engage the quote unquote modern world. Conscious decision. It's been fascinating watching this process of them deciding that they weren't going to war against each other anymore, and what they were going to do to organize to be the rightful stewards of the land, the way that they have to engage the government, giving them resources and everything from buying planes to helping them build airstrips. It's just been this really, really interesting project. So the women basically let the men know what's needed. Okay. And then the men go out and procure that, whatever it is, the food, the bamboo and stuff, and they make these beautiful, beautiful dwelling places and communal spaces and whatnot out of bamboo and big leaves and things. It's amazing to watch, a guy will build his own house as a rite of passage and manhood. Just high pitchfork roofs and whatnot. Just fascinating watching all of this. So we have these conversations with them. And what the Achuar and these tribes were asking us to do is to work with people what they refer to in the North, to awaken from the dream. In fact, one of the first programs that we had was called Awakening the Dreamer. Awakening from the hypnotic trance of the materialism. Okay. Saying, you've got to stop this, because no matter how much we can slow down the oil companies and all of the rest of that, as long as you keep having a demand, and as long as you keep relating to the earth the way that you're relating to the earth, we're going to still have these problems. So we're trying to deal with the ecological issues more at the places of the root causation, as opposed to just trying to fix things on the back end, like after they've already been damaged and all of the rest of that. And this one particular conversation just really stuck out with me. So the Achuar women were assuming that it was similar with these Western cultures, Northern cultures, in these quote unquote developed nations, were working the same way that we were working, that we were working the same way that they were working. And they posed this question to the women: why haven't you told your men it's enough? I was like, wow, that was a deep question. What they were saying is that your needs are met. You've reached a certain sufficiency. Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep destroying the earth? Why do you keep just more and more extraction and all that? And their question really wasn't so much about like a number. It was about a soul issue. A soul issue. Like, why haven't you told your men that it's enough? That they don't need to keep doing all this stuff that they're doing to the planet and everybody else. And that question is really kind of stuck with me. It even haunts me to a certain extent. Because I find myself asking the same question. I find myself asking the same question of the GOP or of America in general, of so many things now, of enough. Haven't you seen and figured out? We're way past needing more of this. That ship sunk and sailed and sunk long time ago. Just like enough. Enough. Because when you go beyond that enough, you're in the law of diminishing returns. See, when you go beyond that enough, it doesn't bring you more joy. It doesn't bring you more happiness. It just feeds off of itself. Just this, like the dopamine loop. Dopamine is that little enzyme that puts you on repeat. It's like the endorphins make you like, woo, like happy. And the dopamine is like, boom, again, 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 just pump, pump, pump. And this is what happens to us when we don't allow ourselves to experience that enoughness. Then it's just this constant striving, whatever it is, higher highs, more material stuff, more relationships, just an underlying sense of dissatisfaction, so that even if you're not actively trying to create more, you're beating yourself up for not doing that with this assumption that you're not good enough as you are. Take a breath. Know that you are enough. You're enough. Just the way you are. Nothing extra, nothing missing. You're enough. There's no fatal flaw that you have to overcompensate for. There's no standard that you have to reach. There's nothing to prove and no one to prove it to. You can relax. You can relax into the experience of being, of just being. And here's the thing, here's the paradox. That when we reach that place of the enoughness, the doors of opportunity for the more come along. Okay? And I know you know that. Those of you, particularly like if you've been entrepreneurs in any kind of way, when you're really desperate for the job and you're really desperate for it. I remember in my early years when I first was starting in real estate. I was in residential real estate at first, in between college and graduate school, like the mid 70s, late 70s kind of thing. And I remember my broker teaching us. I was selling real estate in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and then eventually the Silver Lake area in Los Angeles. And she said, don't be hungry for commission. She said, the buyers will smell it. Like the owners will smell it. She said, just do a good job. Do right by your customers and clients. And the rest will follow. The rest will follow. But if it looks like you're too hungry or you're too greedy for that commission, they won't trust you. They won't trust you. Okay. So think about this in your own practices, like in your own businesses, even if you weren't an entrepreneur. When we've got that grasping, neediness, and you feel like they're coming at you, you'll come across like a used car salesperson. And you might actually be really good. But the desperation of it could be just even like dating or something, that the desperation of it, you're feeling like you're not enough until you get something from them. Okay. That energy repulses. It repulses. Anybody who's halfway sensitive, like, no, 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 no. Stay back, stay back, stay back. But when you relax, okay, you're just going with the flow now. Okay? When you're just moving with the flow, you can be trusted. It doesn't come across as assaultive or offensive. You're just putting out an invitation. But knowing you're going to be fine, whether they accept the invitation or not. That your sense of well-being is not being determined by what other people are saying or feeling or doing. This enoughness, it's an inside job. It's not an external thing. It's an inside job. I'm going to leave you with this, and I know I've spoken of this from time to time. In our capitalistic system, the way that value is determined is by how much somebody else is willing to pay for it. That's its value. So let's say, for example, you have a house and you have a house in a neighborhood. This is a ridiculously low number, but it's not the numbers now. I'm just trying to make a point. So let's say all the houses in the area, which is ridiculous by California standards, is $100,000. And you go and you put in $500,000 worth of improvements in that house. You're not going to be able to recoup the money that you put in there. Okay. Even though, quote unquote, value-wise, there really is a kitchen that's $50,000 and the bathroom and the this, that's another $100,000 or like whatever. But the value that is attached to the house has to do with what other people are paying for that in the area, what they're paying for other houses, known as comps or comparables. Okay, so that's how they set market value. What have other things, in fact, sold for? And we get caught up in that kind of thinking all the time. Like, I can't know my worth as a musician or an artist because other people haven't paid for it yet. Where my sense of my worth has gotten caught up in how much somebody else is willing to pay for it. No, what are you worth to you? That's all that really matters. Is are you happy with you? When you go to bed at night, can you go to sleep? That's my measurement. When I'm trying to figure out what's the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, I'm not worried about what everybody else is going to think about it. I think to myself, am I going to be able to go to sleep? Will this decision haunt me? Will I be replaying it over and over again and wish I had done something else? Or question. Okay. Because we each have this little internal barometer, gauge, whatever it is that you want to call it, this internal connection to the divine that guides us. It talks to us. It lets us know that we are okay just the way we are. We don't need to look like everybody else. We don't have to conform to their body standards or the way that they dress or the cars that they drive or the careers that they have or the family structures that they choose. Do you? Just do you. If you do the authentic you, you will get to your enoughness so much better, so much faster than trying to emulate what everybody else is doing. Just saying. Done there, been that. Don't work. Do you? Let's pray. God is so good. Never does the exact same thing twice. Even our baby finger has its own imprint. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you for lifting us up where we belong, for planting our feet on higher ground. Thank you for the gentle reminder that we are in your care, that you provide all. No longer making gods out of people, places, and things. No longer letting them define who it is that we are. Oh, no. We are sufficient in you. In you, God, in which we move and have, that we live and we move and we have our being in you. Yes, you are in us. But that's because we're in you. Like there's air in our lungs because we're walking around in air. I pray this prayer of enoughness for everyone. For everyone. Enough food, enough clothing, enough shelter, health care, community, education, deliberation. Oh, this and so much more. Where you're busy chasing after things, we let that calm. Knowing that you are closer than hands and feet, nearer than our very breath. We don't have to look for you. God, you're already there. You got there before we did. Everywhere. Peace be still. All around this world. Peace be still. We pray for the harmony, the reconciliation, that we study war no more, that we uplift each other, care for one another, careful of the planet, all of its species. We let you be God as we just get out the way. We get out the way and we let you do you. We stop trying to do you. We do ourselves. praying community. If you have a prayer request on your heart and you'd like some prayer support, please reach out. You see there's a number that's scrolling across your screen right now. You can reach us at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. You can also send us an email. The number 4 and the word prayer, for prayer at innerlightministries.com. Our prayer practitioners are waiting for you. They are there. They are available. Nothing can. They will send you back. They will send you back a prayer and a way to get in touch. To meet with somebody live. Yes, indeed. It's knowing the word has been spoken, we just release it. We let it be. So it is. So it is. Let's just take a breath, huh? Let's take a breath. You know, when we don't know that we're in the enoughness, there are few things we start to do. We start othering people. We also stop sharing. Okay, we become hoarders of our power, of our privileges. And I have a couple of workshops that are coming up. I want to encourage you to take a look at them. The information is going to come on your screen now. You'll also find this in our social media, on our website as well. The series is called Relationships Reset. It's an interactive skills building series. The first workshop is Beyond Othering, and the second workshop is How Power is Shared. And this is being offered now to honor the season for nonviolence that we are in at the moment. It is commemorating between the assassination dates in January of Gandhi and of MLK Jr. In April. So please, check it out, sign up for it. You can take either workshop or both workshops at a discount. I want to thank all of you for your gifts, your tithes, your contributions. This is our virtual offering right now. We're passing the collection plate, so to speak, and providing opportunities online for you to know and to practice that sufficiency, that enoughness. One of the ways we do that is in paying it forward, in tithing, in sharing some of the good that has come our way as an affirmation that we don't have to hoard it, because God is God and there's always more coming from the divine source. Yes. So you'll see on your screen that there are a number of ways that you can make that contribution. There's a QR code. You can use that with a mobile phone or any kind of mobile device. It will take you to a site where you can use any debit card, any credit card, as well as PayPal. You can also use any debit or credit card with the text to give. That number is 831-231-0065. You can use Zelle, accounting at innerlightministries.com. Our Venmo is a little bit wonky right now, so if you don't get through, I advise you to use one of these other methods. We're really working on getting that fixed. There's Cash App. You get the website. You can just push the button right there at the website. You might even want to mail it in at P.O. Box 1029, SoCal, California 95073. But regardless of the methodology, regardless of how it comes in, we know that it is all going to the same purpose. It's going towards healing. It's going towards growth, towards transformation, okay? Towards us having the infrastructure necessary for us to continue multiplying this consciousness. So I say thank you, and we bless these gifts and these tithes right now. And if you can, I ask you to repeat after me. My every act produces abundance. I dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. I release this gift, knowing it returns to me 1,000-fold. Yes, it's not a one-way street. Your generosity returns to you. Yes. So let's just take that breath. I know many of you will be participating. And if you're looking at this in real time in the upcoming No Kings weekend, be safe, let your voice be heard. But we do it from upstairs consciousness. And it's important that we all find a way to take our stances. Because yes, enough is enough. Yeah. So like us on social media, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come back, check out the website. Hope to see you in some of our activities. As always, take this consciousness and multiply it.